What's going on, everyone? We got main shaft assembled for the NV4500 Rebuild. I just finally got around to uploading the disassembled video last night. I thought I had uploaded it, and I apparently haven't. So that's up now, so figure since last night I got this all back together, besides this final bearing, I'll go over the main shaft assembly. So kind of like in the teardown video, we had our hub here, the synchro hub. So that ring that's kind of a brass color, that's new. Then this gear goes on there. I forgot to get all these gears labeled in my brain, but so then that part with the tab in there with the friction material, that's new. And there's a couple other new parts in there, again the friction material tab bit, and then we got a reverse gear, and then that bearing. So that's the whole main shaft, except for our input shaft side, as that has to get put on kind of last. Once the counter shaft is down in the bottom, then the main shaft can kind of get wiggled in there. So yeah, we're going to get started on probably getting the counter shaft put back together, and I don't know how far I'll get tonight, but that's where we're at. We got the main shaft assembled. Just want to get a good shot of it being assembled, that way anyone who just needs a good visual reference can get that. So just kind of slowly pan across here. That way, ideally, anyone who's watched some other videos and got a little bit lost, especially for the GM one, can get a better view of it. So that's about it for this clip. Alright, we got the counter shaft in the case now. Pretty simple so far. Just have the one bearing, and it has a bigger diameter on the nose. Should have took a video or gotten clips of the part numbers on it, but pretty much so the part number on this one will be close, like for the outside cup will be close to the actual bearing itself, and then the other one, they are completely different numbers, so you can make sure to get those two cups on the right sides with their matching bearings. So put the bearing, or smack the bearing onto the counter shaft, then take and set your race on the lower hole in there. Again, I should have got video of all this, my bad, I'm just trying to get this done. Then take and put a spacer of some kind. I used the big disc out of the Harbor Freight seal and bearing driver. Set it under the counter shaft in between the case, that way you can get the shaft up and pound on your bearing, and then this cup just kind of sits down in there. Make sure you have your fifth gear arm there up and out of the way. And next is going to go your reverse idler with the two washers on either end. Your bearing and this shaft will go in here with washer, gear with bearing, and then washer, and then the rod goes through. And that's it for that step. Alright, so we got the reverse idler in there with that flat side of the pin facing where the retainer is going to go. Got the retainer that was on here washed off, same with the retainer plate. So next the retainer plate just goes on there. Get everything lined up, and the counter shaft is in. Alright, and there we go. Counter shaft is in. Everything's nice and smooth like butter. Got some lube in there to protect the bearings and keep them running smooth until everything's up and running. Everything's cleaned off, as I got a proper parts washing tank now, also from Harbor Freight. All thanks to Grandma and Christmas money. I think I'll call it there for tonight. Get some dinner, but transmission's coming back together.